Imagine a world where your focus is so sharp, your concentration so intense, that you can produce work of such high quality it feels like a superpower. In an era of constant pings, notifications, and the relentless pull of social media, the ability to disappear into a task and emerge with something brilliant is becoming the rarest and most valuable commodity in the global economy. You aren't here to simply be busy. You are here to be impactful, to master your craft, and to reclaim the cognitive potential that the modern world is trying to steal from you. This is the philosophy of deep work. It is the commitment to doing the hard things that others avoid, and it is the only way to achieve true greatness in your field. Let's dive into the masterclass on deep work by Newport. Chapter 1. The definition of depth. Deep work is defined by author Newport as professional activities performed in a state of distraction-free concentration that push your cognitive capabilities to their limit. These efforts create new value, improve your skill, and are hard to replicate. In contrast, shallow work consists of non-cognitively demanding, logistical-style tasks, often performed while distracted. While shallow work keeps you busy and makes you feel productive, deep work is what actually gets you promoted, builds your business, and fulfills your ultimate potential. Chapter 2. Why depth is the new gold. The first core pillar of this philosophy is that deep work is increasingly rare and, therefore, increasingly valuable. As the labor market shifts toward complex problem-solving and creative output, those who can master complicated systems and produce at an elite level will thrive. If you allow your brain to be permanently fragmented by quick hits of dopamine from your smartphone, you are effectively handicapping your ability to compete. In the new economy, the person who can sit in a room and solve a complex problem for 4 hours straight will always beat the person who spends 8 hours responding to emails. Chapter 3. Selecting your depth philosophy. To successfully integrate this into your life, you must choose a depth philosophy that fits your specific lifestyle and professional demands. The monastic approach involves cutting out all distractions indefinitely. Essentially, living like a monk dedicated to one craft. The bimodal approach allows you to spend a few days in total isolation and the rest of the week in normal life. However, most professionals find the most success with the rhythmic approach, which involves carving out a specific time, like the early morning hours, every single day for undistracted focus. By turning deep work into a habit, you remove the need to use willpower to get started. Chapter 4. The Ritual of Concentration. Ritualizing your workspace is an essential strategy for high-level output. You cannot simply wait for inspiration to strike. You must design an environment that signals to your brain it is time to work. This means choosing a specific location where only deep work happens, setting a clear start and end time for your session, and ensuring you have all the tools you need, be it a specific notebook, a cup of coffee, or noise-canceling headphones, before you begin. A ritual lowers the friction of starting, allowing you to transition into a flow state much faster. Chapter 5. The Strategy of the Grand Gesture. Grand gestures can help kickstart a deep work habit when you are feeling stuck. This involves making a radical change to your environment, perhaps by investing money or traveling to a new location, to increase the perceived importance of the task at hand. When you invest significantly in a project, like booking a hotel room just to finish a manuscript, your brain recognizes the stakes are high. It becomes much easier to maintain the necessary level of intensity because you have skin in the game. Chapter 6. Collaboration without distraction. Collaboration does not have to be the enemy of depth, though modern offices often make it so. While open offices are often distraction factories, the hub-and-spoke model suggests that we need both: areas for serendipitous interaction, the hub, and private spaces for deep thinking, the spoke. You can work with others to generate ideas or gain feedback, but you must eventually retreat into your private cave to execute the difficult parts of the project. Deep work is a solo sport, even if the inspiration comes from a team. Chapter 7: The 4 Disciplines of Execution. Execution is where most people fail, even if they understand the theory. Newport suggests using the 4 disciplines of execution to stay on track. First, focus on the wildly important. Pick 1 or 2 big goals and ignore the rest. Second, act on lead measures. Instead of tracking the final result, track the hours you spend in deep work. Third, keep a compelling scoreboard to visualize your progress daily. Finally, create a cadence of accountability by reviewing your performance regularly. If you don't measure it, you won't master it. Chapter 8: Training the Concentration Muscle. Embrace boredom as a training tool for your mind. If every time you feel a hint of boredom, you reach for your phone to check the news or social media, you are rewiring your brain for distraction. You must practice being bored by resisting the urge to seek mental stimulation during every gap in your day, like waiting in line or sitting on the bus. You strengthen your concentration muscle. This makes it significantly easier to maintain focus when you actually sit down to do the work that matters. Chapter 9: The Practice of Productive Meditation. Productive meditation is a technique for practicing deep work while you are physically occupied but mentally free. Whether you are walking, jogging, or driving, choose a specific, well-defined professional problem and focus your mind entirely on it. When your thoughts wander, and they inevitably will, gently pull them back to the problem at hand. This sharpens your ability to think deeply and often leads to unexpected breakthroughs that you wouldn't find while sitting at a desk. Chapter 10: The Social Media Detox. Quit social media, or at least treat it with the skepticism it deserves. Newport argues that we shouldn't use a tool just because it offers some benefit. We should only use it if the benefits significantly outweigh the costs. Most social media platforms are designed specifically to fragment your attention and keep you in a state of shallow thought. Ask yourself, does this platform truly contribute to my most important life goals, or is it just a convenient way to avoid the hard work of thinking? Chapter 11: Draining the Shallows. Drain the shallows by being ruthless with your schedule. Shallow work, like answering emails, attending unnecessary meetings, and scrolling through messages, is inevitable, but it should be strictly capped. Set a shallow work budget for your day and stick to it. Learn to say no to projects that don't align with your deep work goals. Treat your time as a non-renewable resource, because every hour spent in a shallow meeting is an hour stolen from your greatest potential. Chapter 12: Becoming hard to reach. Become hard to reach by setting boundaries on your communication. Use sender filters to manage expectations for how and when you respond to emails. Instead of back and forth messaging to schedule a meeting, send a process-centric email that outlines all the necessary steps to reach a conclusion in one go. This reduces the cognitive load of constantly monitoring your inbox and gives you the permission to stay in the deep for longer periods. Conclusion: reclaiming your life. The transition to a deep work lifestyle is not easy. It requires a fundamental shift in how you view your day and your value as a creator. It means prioritizing quality over quantity and choosing the discomfort of intense focus over the ease of busy work. However, the rewards are immense. When you commit to depth, You don't just become more productive, you become more satisfied. There is a profound sense of meaning that comes from using your mind to its fullest capacity. Success in the modern world belongs to those who can focus. By applying these strategies, you are training your brain to see through the noise and produce work that truly matters. If you could carve out just 2 hours of deep work every single morning, what is the one big goal or project you would finally finish? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you for joining this masterclass at the 15-Minute Library. If you want to master the skills that make you indispensable, make sure to like this video and subscribe for more deep dives into the books that change lives. Share this with one person who is currently struggling to find their focus.